unfortunately, that didn't happen for us, and all I can do is just go look myself in the mirror and find ways to get better so I'm able to put my team in a better situation next year.
Did this team lose an edge at all, or was there just something missing down the stretch?
I mean, I can't speak for everybody. I feel like I never lost my edge. I feel like all the guys around me had great energy. I feel like I tried to be somebody to provide energy to others around me. And that's all I can do is continue to just get better and focus on me, focus on myself, and hopefully that jumps off onto my teammates. And something went wrong, but we got to look ourselves in the mirror and get better, honestly.
How do you look at your season? Over 1,000 yards, double-digit touchdowns. How do you assess it?
Honestly, I assessed it as it wasn't good enough. I feel like I needed more. I want to be in the playoffs. I feel like that's why I got into this game. That's why I play it. And that didn't meet the requirements to be in the playoffs this year. So I got to find ways to continue to improve my game, get better, so that next year I'm in the playoffs. We in the playoffs, and we playing for something.
You know, last year there was just that magic, the finish and stuff like that. Josh and Calvin have mentioned just the juice, the energy wasn't there this year. What do you attribute that to? Have you thought about that at all?
The juice, I feel like the juice. I feel like, man, we gotta stop looking for juice and create juice. That's all I can say towards that. Instead of looking for a spark, be a spark. And I have to find ways to go out there and try to continue to spark people, spark players around me, coaches around me, just to better help the organization and help myself.
How important will this upcoming year be for you going into year 4, Trevor going into year 4, a lot of players just contractually, but also for this organization to take the next step?
It's going to be very huge. Like you said, I feel like this is my 3rd season, going to my 4th season. I feel like football doesn't last forever. Our career doesn't last forever. And we have such a short window to chase a championship. And that's what we got into this for. That's what we came here for. That's why they drafted us to come here and bring the Super Bowl to Duval. And we have some tough decisions to make. But I say all I could do is just continue to get better and just work on myself. So whenever that time comes, I'm able to help my teammates be in that position to win.
Travis, well, you alluded, I think, last week that you wanted to be more of a leader, wanted to be a little bit more vocal. Have you given that any more thought? Is that the kind of guy you want to be next year?
For sure. I feel like I want to be the ultimate teammate, day in and day out. Whether that's leading by example or voicing my opinion or getting on somebody whenever I see something going wrong, or just being an inspiration to somebody, just being lifting somebody up when I see they're down, just trying to help the team any way that I can. Just be a great person, just continue to grow in my faith, just be who I am as a man. And I feel like how you do anything is how you do everything. And you can't be 1 foot in and 1 foot out in this business. And I'm ready to make that next leap and just try to be that total package, that total player, that a great human for people around me to just sense an aura of just positivity, growth, just be a spark to anybody and everyone around me.
As much as you guys move the ball throughout the year, are you surprised how hard it was to get a yard at times?
Nah, I mean, football is a game of inches. It's hard to get an inch at times. So I can't look at it like that. I just got to I feel like a lot of times in those situations, I don't know why it was so hard. I feel like we make it much harder than it has to be. I feel like at the end of the day, it's just football. And we have to keep it simple at times. We can do that a lot of times, and I feel like that's why things didn't go our way most of the time.
You said this season you got better as a back from your first year to second. Is there room for more growth for you?
For sure. I feel like it's always room for growth. The moment you stop learning, the moment you stop growing, you might as well say you're finished. And I can go on film and just look at myself and just understand where I need to get better at, and just things that I can continue to work on. I can continue to prepare my game in the right atmosphere.
Football's never about one person. It's about all 11 on both sides of the ball coming together and being at their best. And we unfortunately weren't able to do that.
Going into the offseason, kind of what do you take with you from this season?
Yeah, I think it was humbling for us, and I think for the core and the foundational pieces that are in this organization, it just opens our eyes to where we're at, and none of us are going to sit here and be obviously content with where we're at. We all know that there's a long way for us to go, and we're not there yet to being a championship team. And so it just adds, more motivation and, a sense of reflection of just doing everything that we can to keep progressing, keep pushing everybody else around us, this team, this organization, to getting to where we want to go. Because at least for me, as long as I'm here, I'm not settling for mediocrity and, not making the playoffs. We came here to win championships, and we're just not there yet. And so definitely the message the past couple of weeks has been, done talking about it, be about it, but that's as real as it gets now.
Could you have played Saturday, Christian, if you guys had advanced, do you think?
This coming Saturday? Yeah. Like I said, I'm already a few weeks ahead of, my recovery, and so, we would have just had to see how the week progressed, and, whether it was Saturday or it was yesterday, I wasn't going to get out there if I couldn't give, my team, 100% of what I'm capable of. And because I said earlier in the week, the last thing I'd want is to get out there and jeopardize, the team with me not, being at my best. And so, that's a call that would have just had to been made as I progressed throughout the week.
Can you now slow down a little bit with the season over and make sure that there's no setbacks or anything?
Most definitely. There's definitely a time now to where I can just, slow down, not, worry about the internal and external pressure of just doing everything that I can to try to, rush my body to get right. Now it's just, the ability to be able to make sure I'm at my best, when we come back to work.
Christian, was this team not ready to handle all of the hype, the expectation? 8-3, Monday Night Football, top seed on the line. Was it just not ready?
I wouldn't say not ready, but I think there was too much expectation of, oh, we're going to figure it out, or it's going to happen. It's hard in football to just be able to pinpoint on one certain thing. This is the reason why we started winning games, or this is the reason why we started losing games. And I think that goes to say, everybody wants to talk so much about last year and, how we all of a sudden switched our season and became a new team and got into the postseason. Nobody could still give you an answer of why that actually happened. And even statistically and factually, you can't go and look and say, oh, this is why. So I think we all, I think there's a sense and a nature of, at some point it's going to happen. And that's not how football works. You got to go out there and you got to take it. And eventually, it'll expose you. And the NFL is hard, and we just weren't ready.
Does this stunt Trevor's growth at all? Something like this, where maybe it's injuries, but also the losing and some poor play down the stretch by everyone?
I don't think it stunts it. I actually think, it'll accelerate it. I try to always, when I talk to him and give him advice, try to refer to different points in my career of where maybe there have been similar times where I've been going through a struggle maybe for a couple games, or, make a bad play, a couple plays here and there. When things are going good and as planned, sometimes life, and especially football, has other plans, and, it gets hard. It is a hard game, and you can't expect everything to go great at all times and forever. And so, if anything, knowing him, I know he's going to take accountability for, how he played and, his part in all of us, not taking, this season to where we wanted to go. And I know he's going to come back hungrier than ever. And to not let it slight his view on who he is. Let's not forget who he is. #1 overall pick, and has been at the best of that position for a long time, growing up at his whole entire life. And, besides a couple bad games, we all remember the times that everybody was patting him on the back and, saying he's the best thing since sliced bread. So it's just how football is, the nature. And, yes, obviously you can't ignore the bad plays and whatnot, but I know that he's going to bounce back better than ever.
Do you have full confidence in this scheme and what you guys are doing on offense that it can get you where you want to go?
I do. But right now, I'm not confident in the way that us as players have executed it. I think we didn't do a good enough job of, putting ourselves in positions to be successful, it's hard when you're starting drives, 1st and 15, 2nd and 20, you know, from false starts, holding calls, you know, whether that's on the front or the wide receivers, drop passes, interceptions, you know, like those are all things that are hard for you to be able to be successful as an offense. And we just didn't do that. You know, we have our 3 commandments in our room, and we didn't do any of it this year. And so when you do that, it's hard to expect, you know, the system to work. You know, at the end of the day, the players play, and we're the ones that go out there, run those plays, and are supposed to execute them.
Just processing what happened yesterday. How difficult was that, and what did you come away with?
Yeah, it's hard. Like you said, processing, giving it time. I think overall it's tough to deal with in the moment. You know, we hope that you learn something from it and that it grows you.
Where did this go wrong down the stretch for this team?
Yeah, it's hard to put your finger on it. I think a lot of it goes into humility, you know, it's just being humble during good times and allowing it to just build a foundation for when things get hard. I think we kind of were on a rocky road and couldn't respond.
Overall, your year, what do you make of your season and being out there all the time and what you got done?
I think it was all right. I think it was good times. There were some times with things I could have done a lot better. Stuff to build off of going into next year, and I'm excited about where I'm at. I'm not going to say it's a bad spot. You know, I probably would have said there's a lot of things I should have did better this year, but you know, I just want to continue to help my defense.
There's a lot of talk in here today about, you know, not having the juice late in the year, and you know, Travis Etienne was talking about, hey, we can't find it, we got to go create it. So how do you create juice as a team?
I mean, you do it individually first and then just come together. Everyone got their own things that motivates them on a daily. You don't expect guys to have the same exact motivation, but it comes on to the meeting rooms and in the practice field. And I think there's a lot of times where it appeared that we did have energy and we were doing things the right way, but then you got to ask yourself, those guys just going through the motions and just doing it just to do it. You know, that's what you got to ask yourself. So I think that's what this offseason is going to be about.
Yeah, for you, what is this offseason about? What do you want to get accomplished this offseason?
I think get healthy through this first part of the offseason, just get healthy. And then in this latter part, just expand my knowledge of the game and continue to grow as a person and a player.
You know, this is going to haunt me for a long time. Not the last game, the last stretch, not the last game. We're scratching and clawing, just trying to get back to who we were. But at the end of the day, who we were is what we were putting on film week in, week out at the end of the season. So it's definitely not how I want to be. That's how I feel as a label, as a player right now, just that last stretch. I want to get back to winning football in this locker room.
How important is this feeling for the younger guys?
For the younger guys, yeah, stuff not sweet. Like, it's hard to win the NFL. You know, we had a winning streak early. Maybe, you know, younger guys think it's just natural like that. Maybe get a little relaxed, but it's not sweet. It never is. A lot of people play their whole careers, don't make the playoffs. It's hard to win no matter who you play, and you got to put that winning effort, even when you go home, winning effort to watching film and being a professional week in, week out.
Some talk earlier in the locker room about not looking for juice but creating it. So how do you do that?
Executing, and that starts with practice, executing. Everybody loves when you execute, so let's start that Wednesday in practice.
Thanks for
it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's I mean, obviously it was a tough day, tough loss for us, and just the way our season's gone, kind of a lot of ups and downs, and just, you know, you think about the year and the opportunities that we missed and the good moments too. I mean, the games where we played well and had some big wins, and then but you look at the games where, you know, we lost, and maybe you win those games. We're not in that position yesterday, but it all comes down to, you know, week 18, and we control, you know, if we get into the playoffs and we're not able to deliver. So that's disappointing. Like I said after the game, you know, still need some more time to reflect and think about everything. And there's gonna be a lot of lessons learned this year, you know, individually, as a team, as an organization, just things that, you know, we can do better moving forward, you know, things that I can do better. I know I need to play better consistently. So yeah, those things are disappointing, and but I know we're gonna be better for it. I have no doubt about that. I'm not going anywhere. You know, I'm gonna keep coming back, and we're gonna learn from this, and it's gonna make us better. It's gonna prepare us for what's to come, and it's just part of our story, and it's hard to accept that right now. And you don't want that to be the case. You know, you never want to have to be in a situation, lose a game like that, miss the playoffs, when there were so many expectations, so much positivity, so much to look forward to, and we thought we were going to go a lot further this year. And the reality is we weren't able to do that, and it's disappointing. And you got to live with that. Like I said, you got to live with the result and move on. But there's a lot to learn, and we're going to learn from it. We're going to be better for it. And I know it's going to make me a better player. I know it's going to make our team better. And maybe it's just one of those things where we needed this to get to where we're going to eventually be.
Trevor, not a lot of the turnovers, not all the turnovers are your fault, but cutting those down going into year 4, where is that on the to-do list?
Pretty high, yeah, pretty high. I think that, when you don't turn the ball over, you win more games. So, yeah, it's definitely an emphasis. And like you said, there's a lot that goes into that. But I got to own my part, and I got to take better care of the ball, and that's going to give us a better chance to win a lot of these games. So I understand that, and I own that. And there's other things that I need to do better too. It's not just turnovers, but just in general, I need to be more consistent. I think as a team, as an offense, we need to be more consistent in every aspect. There's a lot of stuff, I'm going to go back and watch all the games and have the notes, and I'm going to talk to, our staff and everything about just what our thoughts are going into the offseason, but that's not going to happen today. We need some time to just let everything settle, kind of have some thoughts, some reflecting and all those things. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff we need to do better. I need to play better. It starts with the quarterback, obviously, in this league. If your quarterback plays well, it gives you a chance every week, and I can do a better job of just being consistently the player I know I can be. I thought I did that better earlier in the season, and as the season went on, I thought that there were times where I didn't play my best, and that's when it's needed. When the season's on the line, and whatever it is, 2-minute drill at the end of the game, making that throw to Calvin, that changes the game. Things like that. Like, I need to be my best in those moments, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that at times this year. And that's what talk to the guys, and I feel responsible for that. So that's part of it that sucks about this business. And when you don't perform and deliver in those moments, it's disappointing. But like I said, it's part of the story, and I'm going to keep coming back, and I know it's going to make me better and make this team better.
Will the shoulder injury affect your off season at all, Trevor?
No, I need some time. I need some time to heal and to recover. It's been a tough year physically, not just for me, for a lot of guys in our team, and so we need some time to heal up. But no, it won't affect. I'm gonna take some time off anyways, just to let the body recover. But yeah, my shoulder just needs some time to heal, and not gonna have to get surgery or anything like that. So it's nothing like that, but just need a little bit of time to let the body do its thing and heal up.
You mentioned the shoulder not need surgery, ankle, the knee. You've had a lot of injuries this year that you've not had before. Any of those going to require anything postseason?
No, everything's feeling honestly pretty good besides the shoulder. It's still sore. Obviously, that's the fresher injury, but the other things have healed up pretty good over time. So feeling okay on that front. So there's just got to let the shoulder heal and just recover, mentally, physically. It's been a long year, so it'll be much needed.
Confidence-wise, do you believe that you have the right pieces around you to get you where you're capable of going?
I do. I believe that. I think that you saw that at times this year, and that's part of the disappointing thing is we do believe we have a good team, possibly great team, and we have the players to be great, and that's what's disappointing is we weren't this year. So it's just the reality of it. We weren't, we put that on the field, and that was clear in a lot of games. So that's something where we have to improve. But I do think we have a lot of the right pieces, players, to be a great team and to do everything we want to do moving forward. Obviously this league, teams change so much every year. So who knows what's going to happen? Who knows who's going to still be here? I don't have the answer to that question, but I don't control that either. So. I have a voice, and there's things that obviously I feel strongly about, but I think that we have a lot of the right pieces, but we got to get better too. Everyone individually has to get better, and that'll make us better as a team.
You have a loud voice. What's going to be the loudest cry for you for the offseason?
I don't have that answer yet. There's things where, like I said, we talked about earlier, I got to take accountability for things that I need to do better. So that's number one, and I think that people here understand that's going to happen, and that I'm going to own that. I'm never going to point the finger, and you don't point out the splinter in someone else's eye when you got one in your own. So I think that's something where I know what I got to do, and I know that that's my part in this. And there's other things that we need to get better at for sure, but that's every team. It's going to be like that every year. Even if we went in the playoffs and lost in the playoffs, or we won the Super Bowl or whatever, there's going to be things you got to get better and improve at. Unfortunately, it just was such a disappointing end of the season. We're going to have a long off season of hearing about what the Jags are and aren't, and maybe that's good for us. Maybe we need a little bit of that. So, but yeah, I don't have the answer for you what that is. I don't think that's my place to say right now, and I don't even have the answer.
The offensive line, so many changes this year. I don't think you lost confidence, but comfortability. How much does playing with new guys, just about every game, every other game, change things for you?
It does. It changes things when you have new guys in there and you don't have maybe the same level of chemistry. Obviously, injuries played a part in that this year for us. But like I said after the game, every team deals with injuries, and you got to find a way to win with that. And we weren't able to do that enough this year. So that's on us, and we got to get better at that moving forward, because there's going to be injuries every year. You hope it's nothing major, and you hope it's not for the extended amount of time like we had this year. That was unfortunate, but it's going to happen. You got to find ways to work around it and continue to build the chemistry. That's a goal for me this offseason with all of our guys, not just our starters, guys that could end up coming in and playing. I think that chemistry needs to grow more and more in the offseason, so that if something does happen, you can kind of pick back up where you left off. So that's something that we'll get better at. I think for a lot of the guys that had to play and get thrown in the fire this year, it's going to help them. They're going to become much better players from it, just because they had to do that when it wasn't necessarily expected. So that's going to make them better and make our team better, because we're going to build better depth along the way.
The way you guys have moved the ball the last couple of years, does it surprise you to look and see how hard it is sometimes to get 3rd and 1 and get that yard that you really need?
Yeah, I think it's no secret that we weren't great in short yardage this year, and a lot goes into that. That's passing game, that's running game, that's a lot of different things that go into that. And every play is a little different why you don't have success, but that's something obviously that we need to get better at. So yeah, that's something I don't have the exact answer for what that is right now, but it's something we're going to look at this offseason. I know our staff's going to look at and figure out how we get better. And yeah, we need to. You got to be able to get those, especially when the game's on the line. And yeah, like yesterday, for example.
You had some good momentum after a tough rookie year. Does this stunt your growth at all in that respect?
No, not in my eyes. I think that's who knows what the narrative's going to be. I'm sure not good. So, but I don't really care. So it's not really about that for me. It doesn't stunt my growth. I think that's up to me about how much better I get every year, not about what the narrative is. So I know that it's going to be a long offseason, like I said, for us and what people want to say about us, but it doesn't really matter. I think it's going to maybe put that chip back on our shoulder, and we know we got to get better and got a lot of things to work on, and individually that starts with me, but I'm excited. I think I took a lot of steps this year. People can say what they want, but I do feel like there were some areas of my game that I wanted to improve in. I think I did, and now there's some more areas that I need to get better on, and I know I will moving forward. So for me, it's just going back to work, getting better at what I need to get better at, controlling what I can control, trying to just also bring everybody with me too. Like, we all got to get better, and it's gonna make our team better. So I think that's just the message right now. Fresh off this game and moving into the off season.
Do you believe the scheme can get you guys to where you want to go?
I do, yeah. I think you've seen the success that we've been able to have, and we just need more consistency, and that comes, from everyone, players, coaches, everything. We all can do a little bit more to be better. So I think the consistency is the piece that we struggled with this year. You see the flashes, you see what we're capable of, but we weren't able to do it consistent enough.
We're now 3 years in, so the business of football now really becomes a big part of that. Do you have any early thoughts on how that process is going to go?
No, I don't. I have no idea really how it all works anyway, so I don't know. That's something where that's not really what I'm thinking about right now. I'm sure those things will come up as the offseason goes, but yeah, that's kind of all I really have to say about it. I don't know how that's going to go, and not really my priority right now. Obviously, that'll kind of take care of itself, and we'll figure that out as we go. But haven't had any of those conversations as of yet.
All right, one more.
Any vacation plans?
Nice. Not yet. This obviously ended sooner than we thought. So we had some stuff planned for after the Super Bowl. That was the plan, to not plan anything until after then. But now got a little bit of extra time. So I'm sure we'll plan something here soon, just to get away and take a break. Kind of need to get away from everything for a little bit. But nothing yet. But good question. Appreciate you.